I am here to tell you, simply, there are three things I really want to tell you, communicate with you, because you are going to live longer than I will. Every one of us is going to die. I am 38 years old. My parents are very elderly, 60, 70. And I do love my parents. My father passed away. My mother is still there with me, and she loves me and I love her. But she is becoming elderly. My aunties, my uncles, they are becoming elderly. And they will pass on. And it's not an easy thing, right? We don't think about it. We just play or have fun, but we really don't think about the fact that they are going to go. And then I will be gone. You will be my age. And then you will be gone too. You will also die. And then your next generation will come, and they will also become old. This has been happening for how many years? Millions of years, thousands of years. Thousands of years people are taking birth. Some people are living like kings, some people becoming actors, actresses, some people becoming sportsmen, scientists, students, teachers. They go old and they die. We all die. Now, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Because when somebody we love is going to die, it really hurts. When right now your parents will be young, but by the time you are of my age, they'll be old. And then it hurts. But if nobody dies, what happens to the planet? Oh yeah, right? Now, animals also do the same thing. There are dogs. Dogs will grow old. They'll have babies. The babies will grow old. They die. And this happens to dogs. This happens to monkeys. This happens to everything. But human is special in specifically one sense, right? Most people tell you humans are intelligent. That's why they are special. Humans have language. That's why they are special. But now science is proving that dolphins can talk their own language. They have 7 different languages, dolphins. There are monkeys which make machines. Right now there is one batch of special macaque monkeys that is making tools with stones. It can create fire, it can create dabbas, right? Vessels for storing seeds. We are not special that way. We are special in one way. That is, whatever my previous generation did, right? Somebody hundreds of years ago invented fire. Yeah? Somebody invented electricity. Now you don't have to invent it. You can just take what they have invented and you can make it better. So we are living much better than most people in our previous generations. Do you know that even 200 years ago, there was a threat of tigers in Kalpakam? If you walk on the road, tiger can come and eat you. Just 200 years ago in Kalpakam. Imagine that. Playing in the ground, right? 10 of your friends. Oh, I'm going to, what do you play? You play football, cricket, what do you play? Boys, what games do you play? Cricket? Yeah. And you girls? Coco? Yeah? Yeah. So imagine you are playing cricket and you're like taking run up and you jump and suddenly a tiger comes and takes the bowler away. So should the batsman stop or what? He's not out forever. That was here 200 years ago. 200 years ago, it would be like a class here. I would go out, come back, 3 students missing because a tiger came through that window and took those 3 boys there. Gone. Class strength. Now room is empty, bring 3 more students. But now, we have become secure. We have got iron fence. Do you know how difficult it is to make iron fence? Have you tried bending iron? And then making a fence with it? We have that, machines doing that. Right? Like that we are improving every generation. Now, you are all 9th standard, right? You feel fun playing with second grade, third class, fourth class kids, right? They are a bit slow, aren't they? They don't know much. Yeah? You were also once second class, third class, but now you're like, dude, they are boring. Yeah? The difference is that now you are in high school. This is the time where we tell you the secrets. Till now, most of the times we tell you semi-truths. How many people agree? Sun rises in the east. Please raise your hands. Is it true? Is it false? Sun rises in the east. Sunrise in the east. Is it true? I am sorry. You have all been taught slightly wrongly. That's not true. Do you know that? Sun does not rise in the east. It only rises in the east 2 times of the year. Only 2 days. June 22nd, December 22nd. All the rest of the time, the sun rises either towards the north or towards the south. If this is the east, the sun will rise here in the winter and there in the summer. It's called Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. That's why you have Sankranti and Dasara. There are from simple things like that, there are a lot of secrets that you guys need to know, which will make you not boring to us. Do you understand this? 4th class students are boring to you. You guys don't know the secrets yet. So whatever we adults talk, what makes him the principal? What makes them the teachers? Because we know a few more truths than you. And I am here to introduce you to the real 2 mechanics of how you are going to learn the truths. You're ready to become big and really understand how the world works? Are you or are you not? You still want to remain kids, like doing this and doing that and talking silly. There is stuff that we know that we are like, he doesn't know. All of us adults. There are a few things. And now, in 8th, 9th and 10th, this is when we introduce you to those truths. And knowledge is power. You know something that helps you, that's what makes you powerful. Right? Physical strength, you can be powerful at this distance. But with information, you can be powerful very, very far away. Okay, how many of you know Jack and Jill went up the hill? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. What next? That's the secret. You know that secret? No? Jack went home. తర్వాత ఇంటికి వెళ్ళాడు. That guy went home, obviously, because he broke his crown. What did he do? He went back. He mended his crown with vinegar and brown paper. Do you know that rhyme? Most of the rhymes you are taught are only half. This is the time you start learning the rest of it. Right? Because vinegar and paper is a medicine that you don't need to pay for headaches. You get vinegar, you get newspaper, you can put it, just wet it and put it, and you don't need aspirin. You don't need to buy medicine. Like that, there are 17,000 easy medicines, especially in Tamil Nadu. In Andhra, there are 16,000 more. Which are the secrets that made us so powerful that the British could not conquer us? They stopped the medicine, we cured ourselves. They stopped education, we educated ourselves. And there are a few secrets like that. And I'm going to tell you the most basic, the first, the most important secret of all. What do you think this is made of? What is wood made of? Carbon. Yeah, wood is made of carbon. And what is carbon made of? Atoms? Yeah, atoms, right? What is this? Plastic. What is plastic made of? Carbon, hydrogen. Yeah, this is carbon hydrogen chain. What is a potato made of? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and a few minerals sprinkled in. Where does a potato get it? Sorry? From the soil. Where does the soil get it? From rocks. How does that happen? Weathering? You are partially correct. The secret actually is there are hundreds of microorganisms in the soil. Millions. They actually go there and they mine the rocks. They eat the rocks a little bit. They are eaten by earthworms. Earthworms give manure to the plants and trees. That's how we get all our carbon, nitrogen, water. What am I made of? Same stuff. Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur. Yeah? You see this hand? This hand probably belongs, right? Whatever you see here is the soil from my hometown in Andhra. I used to live in Chennai, actually in Kelambakam. I used to stay here. There used to be an animation studio here. I don't know whether it is still there. Pentamedia Graphics used to be there. I used to work there. I used to learn there. So probably when I ate food here, a bit of the soil became a carrot or a potato or rice. And what do? I boil it till it is completely dead, isn't it? You can plant rice and it comes, but when you boil it, it doesn't. But then I eat it, it becomes part of me, and then I do that, it moves. Do you see the magic of this? Because this is all soil. You're all mitti, mud. You do this, it's like there is soil there. You do this and soil moves. What do you say? Right? There is soil in a farm. You go to the farm and say, shh, and if the soil, everything goes up in the air, you call it magic. That's exactly what's happening. Do you know anybody that can convert one substance into another directly like that? Somebody can convert this into gold, what would you say? Do you think it's possible? No? Go look at a chicken. A chicken eats garbage and converts it into egg every day. A banana plant, a tomato plant, a chili plant, they take the same mud. One of them converts it into tomato, another tree converts it into banana, another tree converts it into, another plant converts it into chilies. So far, till your 5th, 6th, what we tell you is only that story. A banana plant produces bananas. Now you need to understand one thing. That is, everything changes and magic is everywhere. A chicken is producing egg, man. I mean, imagine a garbage pile, like all your tomato peels and this and rice and insects. Tomorrow morning, there's an egg. If you put a chicken there, it will eat that, give you out egg. Same thing with a banana plant. Now, how is that possible? Because I am carbon, nitrogen, the same periodic table. This is from the same periodic table. That camera is there. You are like that. He is like that. These doors are like that. These walls are like that. Everything is made up of the same elements. What are those elements made of? Atoms and molecules. What are those atoms made of? Yes, subatomic particles. Perfect. The atoms are made of electrons, protons and neutrons and a few other bosons, mesons, etc. Some subatomic particles. And what are those made of? This is where it becomes really interesting. Because they are made up of whatever light is made up of. Do you know that? What is light? Light, that thing that is coming and from the sun, whatever is coming, what is that? Light is energy. Electromagnetic radiation, the scientific name for it is electromagnetic radiation. Now that radiation is coming, what is sound? Sound is also energy. Do you know that? Waves. What's a wave? Wave is a transmission of energy, transfer of energy. So, energy from me coming out as waves is reaching you. Where did that energy come from? It came from the food I ate. Isn't it? Where did that come to food? Sunlight. Photosynthesis, isn't it? So the voice you are hearing is actually sunlight. You smile, that's sunlight. You laugh, that's sunlight. In Sanskrit, the word for sun is called as Savita. Savita. Savita is the name of sun. Yeah? Om bhur suvat tat saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. That was the first secret taught to kids like you. That's called the Gayatri Mantra. And that is the first secret that people will tell you in the year. And what that means is, dude, look around. It's the sun that you see. I talk, it's the energy from the sun. You laugh, it's the energy from... Where did the energy to build this wall come? Somebody ate food, and that is sunlight. That energy they converted to lift up bricks. Somebody used that same energy to think and design this house. It's the same energy from the sun that goes into the plants, goes into goats, goes into animals, goes into tigers, goes back into the soil as manure, comes back as crops, and we eat and we talk, and everything you see is sunlight. That sunlight is made up of energy. And when you break an electron, you get the same energy. You know what an atom bomb is? There is a gigantic molecule called uranium-234. That's what this place is. There is plutonium, uranium, big, gigantic molecules, gigantic atoms. 234 electrons are present in that. You break that, this little bit of energy that's in there gets released, and that's the atom bomb. That's a nuclear. And when you put all of that explosion in a big cement and metal container and make water heated, with that all that heat, that's what your power station is. That's what happens here. Now this, you said wood. Wood is made of carbon. What is carbon made of? Sunlight. The same energy. The same energy, when it is like, the energy, is like shooting here and there. When you make it go around itself using magnetism, it becomes electrons, protons, neutrons. It's the energy that's just concentrated in the same place. That's an electron. Right? That same energy just concentrates a different way. That's a proton. And electron goes around proton. That's a hydrogen atom. Now the interesting thing is, when all of this that you see is the same energy, some of that energy, this is also energy, isn't it? This is also carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Your hands, your legs. Some of it is listening to you, some of it is not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me. This is the most interesting part. Please listen to this. Everything is made of energy. Till that you understand. Atoms, electrons, protons, everything. Some electrons you call you. Some electrons you don't. Some atoms say this is me. These are my eyes. But that's also electron, protons. That is also electrons and protons. That's also the same energy. But with my mouth I can do, with my hands I can do all of this. But I said this mic doesn't move. I can move only some of the electrons and protons. We all have, that's what we call our bodies. Can you extend that? Can you extend your ability to participate in the world? That is what humans have always tried to do. What's an arrow? What is an arrow? An arrow is to be able to hit something that you can't reach. What is a well? There is a water so deep. Humans invented a rope to reach that. Humans have always tried to reach out beyond their bodies. We adults, we know that the farther you reach, the stronger you are, the better you are. The farther you are connected, the more farther you can control, the more powerful you are. What do you do when you get angry? Some of you will become silent. Oh, I don't talk to you. Yeah? Some of you will fight, right? Like we beat each other up for some time. That's fun. You know what adults do? Who are the famous names that you know? In terms of, let's say, freedom movement, Gandhi or Subhash Chandra Bose. Yeah, you have got amazing guys, right? All around. They were able to reach out with their strength all the way to UK, to London. That's what we do when we grow up. That's what you will do when you grow up. You will not say, I don't talk. You will not say, oh, let's fight. And no, it's not this distance that we are worried of. We change the world. Now, you are almost at an age where you can change the world. 1 more year, 2 more years, you will start changing the world. And you will change it massively, even if you don't want to change it. Right? Suddenly all of you guys find something very fashionable. Right? Like what is that? That round thing that people are doing these days? Huh? Some spinner, fidget spinner, yeah? Now somebody is making thousands of millions of dollars because you guys like it. That guy would not make fidget spinners. Nobody makes fidget spinners. Hey, why would anybody make fidget spinners? They would make it because you like it. You are changing the world already. And there are more number of you than us. For every parrot, the population is more. 50 crore children are there in the country right now, and in next 5 years another 25 crore will be there, and we will be outnumbered. We are like minority, small numbers. We say you go to school, all the kids say no, school come to us, we have to come to you. That's what internet has done. That's what cable TV is. Kids want to watch. That's why there is Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, there is one more Odeon, there is one more Odeon. Why? Because you guys like it. You are changing the world, whether you like it or not. Now, fidget spinners, that's fine. There's no harm in it. They are fun. Right? What if you guys like something that's not good? Right? You guys like what it is good. But what if some school, some country, some kid likes something that is not good for everybody? That's the danger. You guys are very dangerous, very powerful, and very, very dangerous. So dangerous that we want you in schools and become very good. Because if you don't become good, you can really ruin the planet like that. If you become good, you can make it better like that. And for that, what you need to understand is everything is made up of one energy. There are tables and there are benches and chairs. We use them differently. But fundamentally, they are made of the same energy that you and I are made of. All animals are made of the same thing. People of all countries, of all states, of all castes, of all colors, made up of the same energy. People in the future will be made of the same energy. People in the past were made of the same energy. We are all one energy. So far, am I clear on that? Am I clear on that? Everything you do has to be with this in mind, otherwise it breeds inequality. Fights. I like Vijayan, I like some other hero, let's fight. You have stupid people like that in the world, where half of the country is not getting enough food to eat, children dying every day without food. There are people who waste their time and energy and creativity fighting on silly issues like that. More of you guys become silly, the world goes bad very fast. Why am I talking to you? Because I'm going to become a father. By the time my child is your age, you will be my age. And whatever you do will affect my child. Imagine a world where most of the 9th class students that are today, except you guys are good guys, you guys are going to become brilliant, but imagine there are a lot of stupid people who do stupid things. Fidget spinners, it goes to something else, they like something else, they like lots of plastic, they like lots of stupid stuff. My kid grows up without water, without fertility, with lots of pollution. How will it feel to me as a parent? Doesn't it feel bad? It feels really bad. By the time you are my age, you won't have water. Do you know that? Government is saying that, and it's not me saying that. So, hope you guys understand this fundamental truth, that irrespective of whatever anybody tells you, irrespective of what you feel, I like this boy, I don't like that boy, that's fine. That's like saying I don't like the shape of this table. Fundamentally, everything and everybody you see is the same energy, whether you like it or not. That's the first thing. The next question, why did this energy become so many shapes? It can remain like energy, right? Why is some of it like iron and why is some of it like carbon? Because it's like, imagine two plastic containers that are transparent or two glass containers. You put rice, half glass, in the other one you put full glass. Both contain rice only, but based on the difference in the amount, one behaves like gold, the other behaves like iron. That's what periodic table is, isn't it? You know periodic table? How many of you are familiar with periodic table? Right, first group, second group, third group, fourth group. Important question, read that, sodium, this, that. No? What that is telling you is this big important issue, that is, there is no real difference between gold and iron, except there are just a few more electrons and protons. That's it. You take a few electrons and protons out, it becomes a completely different element, and that's what happens here actually in the atomic center. They continuously convert uranium into other elements every day. I asked you a question. How would you feel if somebody can convert this into gold? And you said magic. No. We adults are already able to do that. But if we tell you in your kids that we can possibly change things, you would ask, then change that dog into ice cream. Yeah? That's what third class, fourth class, second class kids will ask you. Is it not? Mommy, I want ice cream. Convert daddy into ice cream. That's why we don't tell you that. But now, we are able to convert that. And I do something called permaculture, in which 800 years, whatever it takes to grow a forest, I can do it in 5 years. I can grow a fully grown forest that looks and works like an 800-year-old forest in 5 years. We can do that, you can do that, but do you know how to do that? No, not yet. There are subjects that you are learning in school, and there is your own mind. These are the two tools you have. There are hundreds of books that are not in your textbooks. They are there in your library probably. They are there, out there. Amazing books are there. But the more you read, what you realize is that the more you grow up, the more secrets you are told, the more you realize that you are far more powerful than you think. You are far, far more powerful, more strong than you imagine. Why would a guy like me, who lives in Hyderabad, gets in a car, drives 2 days, actually he drove it, and comes all the way to speak to kids? I'm not getting paid, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because you are so powerful and they need somebody to tell you these secrets. Because you people are very intelligent. What you do is, if principals or some of your teachers tell you the same stuff, you don't listen until they give you some homework. Even if you listen, it's like part of your lessons, right? It is 4th class over, I don't study. It's 8th class, exams over, no? The textbook is thrown. That's why they asked, sir, you please come. It will be a fresh face, like a fresh new monkey is better than old monkey. So you please come and you tell the kids. You start initiating them, telling them. You have atomic structure in 9th standard. 8th standard, they just touch it, I think. Syllabus has changed, no? They have just started it in 9th. Exactly, and that's what. Can you give me that book, please? This is a book in Telugu. It's called Edinism, which means what is true. This was written to give you these basic secrets. Now, you guys, how many of you guys know Telugu? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good enough, right? If you can read this, you can take this book. But the basic fundamental aspect of that book is everything is energy. The next thing is, why does it take so many shapes? Why is wood? Why is some energy becoming trees? Why is some energy becoming iron? Suppose there is this mic, right? I ask you, why is the mic here? Somebody put it there. Why is that camera there? Somebody put it there. If everything is made up of energy, why is it like this? The answer is, everybody will say God. No. God is just a name. Right? My name is Jnaneshwar. You know what Jnaneshwar means? Somebody who knows a lot. I know that I don't know a lot. It's just a name. Yeah, somebody's name will be Parameshwaran. You think Parameshwaran is the same guy in Kailash? No. This guy is just your neighbor, right? It's just a name. This energy can change itself if you give it the right conditions. This energy can change. Basic knowledge I can tell you. You also know. What's a seed? You put it there, give it the right condition, it becomes a tree. It becomes the same tree. You all can predict. Do you know that? You all are taught. That's what your education has been. Dudes, you plant tomato seeds, you get tomato plants. Right? You can predict the future. That's just basic stuff. Right? Just to understand how this works. That's all there is to it. Right? Everything is energy. There's nothing else in the world. In the whole of the world, there is nothing else, according to science. Only energy is there. Pure, direct energy. Then there is nobody else to change it into all these shapes. It changed itself. That energy changes itself. You have to understand how it changes, and you have to really understand that all these changes that are happen in a particular order. They happen in a particular pattern. You understand the pattern, you can do what Einstein did. You can do what Newton did. You can do what most of the good adults are doing. There are average adults, People who did not really look at it, did not really understand this energy concept, did not put enough energy into it, enough thought into it, they have listened, oh, 9th class syllabus over, let's go on. They were taught electrons and protons, but they didn't do anything about it. But some people, they did something about it. Right? And this is not new information, this is the same, you might think, right? Oh, Rutherford model, whatever, whoever invented, discovered atoms, electrons, J.J. Thomson, yeah. Om Bhur Bhuvastuvah Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Bhadram Karne Sruniyami Devaha. You go up, you go back, go into Nyaya and Vaiseshika. They are two branches of science. You go back and you read, and they told that there are electrons, that there are protons. Not just in India. You go back, read up Democritus, somebody who lived in 7th century, 8th century BC in Greek. He talks of atoms and molecules. What J.J. Thomson did is not finding an electron. That's what you are basically told. What he found was a way to manipulate them, to adjust them, to quantify them, to weigh them, to count them. If you take, right, a high electron source on this side, a low electron source on that side, put a vacuum tube, electrons will shoot from here to there. And then if you put a magnet, you can make them dance. That's what J.J. Thomson did. That is what, till then, we knew there are electrons, but we didn't know what to do with it. We did not know what to do with it. The more you know, sir. Sir. Excuse me, sir. Can you give me 5 minutes? Afterwards, we'll take it. Amma. 5 nimisha. Correct, Tamil? Huh? Nice. So, remember this, guys. J.J. Thomson was so good because he was able to put a magnet and make electrons move the way he wanted. He was able to create alpha particles, somebody else beta particles. We knew they were there. Otherwise, how would he find it? They are there. Right now, I am telling you this is all energy. Your textbooks are telling you it's electrons and protons. And still, there are people who don't have any difficulties. They pay and they cry. Do you know those guys? People who pay to feel fear, to feel, to cry or to laugh. You know those people? Do you know anybody like that? Who cry or who feel fearful? They are the people who go to films, movies. You don't have any difficulties, you don't have anybody attacking you, but you go, give your dad's money, and then go, and then the hero, something happens or somebody dies. Ooh, who is? The director is happy, the producer is happy. And what do you see on the screen? There is nobody on the screen. The hero, heroine are happily sleeping. You think they are there every first show, matinee, they are there in the screen? No, they are there, they are at home, they are not crying. It's only individual images of film, isn't it? Have you looked at the movie film? You can look at it in your cell phone and you can see frame by frame, right? Each frame you can forward. It's all frames. It's all simple images, and yet when you play them fast, makes you laugh, makes you cry. And now people who don't have any difficulties in this country pay money, go sit in an AC hall. The actors who are not having any difficulties, they cry, they act as if they cry. The director has no difficulties, he has made his money, he is also happy. The producer is also happy. The projector is also happy. But this guy pays and cries for 2 hours and comes back. Is that clever? Think about it. Who is more clever, the producer or you? Obviously. None of my kids watch TV or movies, you know that? You know what I did? In 2008, I had a bunch of friends who had kids by the time. They were elder to me. I got all the kids out of school. 7 of them. From class 3, class 4, class 5, class 6. I gave them 1 year time to play. The kind of games that I just spoke about. Thinking about energy, understanding about energy, understanding how things work, along with cricket, shuttle, antyakshari, whatnot. After that, I bought them textbooks. I joined them in 10th class, gave them 3 months time. They all came out with good colors. They all made 3 months. From 3rd class to 10th class. They all passed. They are right now finishing. That guy is one of them. That red shirt is one of the boys that, that got out of school. And they don't watch TV. They make videos which others watch. And we make informational videos. We make videos on gardening and energy and physics and stuff like that. There are people who have known this secret, and I was lucky to be born in a family who had these secrets for lots of years, and I met a lot of people, personally met a lot of people who understood that all of this is energy in a fundamental way. My father was making, he used to make me finish all the textbooks in summer holidays, right? If next year is 9th, I would finish all textbooks of 9th in the summer holidays, right? I was 8 years old when he passed away, and I was reading 9th class textbooks when I was 8 years old. One day, one of his students came. He was a lecturer, right? One of his students came with this big wound, right? Pus and all of that, blood and all of that, with a bandage. Guy really could not walk. His parents got that guy to my dad. I was sitting there he's sitting near the speaker, right? That's how far I was. And that student comes and his parents say, "Sir, this guy has an interview. He studied really, really hard for the job. But now just when the interview is there, he's having this big wound that he can't attend." They are a poor family. And what my father, in front of my eyes, did? He asked that student to give him a glass of water. And that student took the jug, poured water, gave. My father drank it. Within 3 minutes, that student did not have that wound. My father had it for 6 months. My father finished his 10th class when he was 8 years old. He could read 5 books in a day. And he finished his IAS when he was 16 years old. And he did not become a collector. He said, "I'm going to become a lecturer because the stuff I know, I want to teach others." And he is called a master. Right? You go to anywhere in Andhra, even in Chennai, and say, "Bharadwaja master." I say, "Yeah, we know him." I have seen, most of you don't. Most of you have not seen such people because you are in your own fields, right? You are in your own fields. Whatever your dad works, that's what you get. What happened? What happened? What happened? Now, I have seen such people, literally, several of them. And they explained to me how it works in science. You go back and do your little exams, yeah, and then do your little intermediate +2, then do your IIT or whatever. Is that what you're going to do? IIT, doctor, and then do jobs every day, 9 to 5, not have enough time to play cricket. And what do? You become old and you die. Or you can think about this. Just think. If it is energy, how is it happening? That's all there is to it. That's all is the syllabus for you little kids right now. That's all there is to it. Go back. If it is energy, how is the rice becoming my hand? What does biology say about it? Can you do that for me? Because the more of you do that, the better of a world it will be for my kids and for your kids. I am fine. By the time you grow up, if you don't do this, you'll be like the average people, right? Not Newtons, not Einsteins, not Stephen Hawking's. You will not be Sachin Tendulkar's. You'll be there. I wanted to be. But you start doing this, you become really, really good. You know what dhyana means? It was one of the tools to become brilliant, to become very, very intelligent. That's how my students became what they are. How long does it take you to read your textbooks? For exams, I used to read for 1 hour. I never went to school in 9th class. I did not go to college in my 2nd year. I picked up the book, 1.5 hours. Now, you can do that. Then you can read many, many more books. You can understand how this works. And the last part of it, I'll finish it off and then take your questions. We do everything because it kind of makes us feel good. We play the games that we like because it makes us feel good, isn't it? We like to eat food that makes us feel good. What do you think will make you feel good 5 years from now? Money? What else? Because if you don't know that, life will surprise you. You are clever if you plan for what you want. That's the difference between 4th standard, 3rd standard little children and you guys. You guys need to think, oh, what do I like to do? What makes me happy? How can I get that? And you plan for it. And you prepare yourself for it. True? Do you think you know what you'll like in 5 years? Have you thought about it? Your life will be pathetic, dude, if you're like this. Prepare for it. Yeah? Plan it. Literally plan it. Okay, I'm going to like physical exercise. How many minutes? Okay, fine. I'm going to like to play cricket. Okay, batting or bowling. Which school am I going? Which college am I going? Does it have a ground? Does it have a good team? Or is it a losing team that keeps on failing? You know, everybody comes and scores 300 against them in 20 hours. Plan your colleges. Plan your life. Yeah? I'll tell you one final thing. If you really understand that everything is energy, really, really understand it, like Einstein did, and even better than Einstein, like several other greats, like my father and others did, and you know your energy, you will never be afraid because it's all energy. Do you understand that? There are people, Swami Vivekananda was not afraid of anything. One day he was giving a lecture like this. You all see these stupid movies where somebody shoots and the hero is like, wah, ha, ha, and he shoots back. Vivekananda did not even flinch. He was giving a lecture. Somebody got up and shot. No change, no fear. He is not afraid. That's a hero. That's how real good people are. Nobody follows these filmy, stupid heroes. The country follows Vivekananda, you see. 150 years, all of us were like, yeah, that's the guy. Because he knew it's all energy. Now, remember, I am not telling you to be religious. That's not how it works. We have tried it in this country for several thousands of years. So only some of us succeeded. The only way it works is that you actually think about how all of this is energy. What electrons and protons are. Because that's the truth about the world. The fundamental truth. Truth is like layers, you know that? What is truth? Truth is never one thing. Truth is always in layers. I am a human being, that's a truth. I am also cells, that is a truth. I am carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, that's also a truth. You see, there are several truths. What are you? You are somebody's daughter. You are somebody's sister. Your country is India. All of them are true statements. But fundamentally you are cells. Yeah, biological cells. And people who understand that are making medicine. People who don't understand that, they don't make medicine. The best thing they can do is take medicine when they become sick. Right? The people who really understand electrons and protons, they are making all these bulbs and all your mobile. People who understand quantum physics, they make your mobile phones and you pay for it. They make and you pay. I made animation and silly kids who didn't understand how to make them paid me. I left that job, animation job, because I wanted to tell kids about this. I stopped that so that I can do this and also do permaculture, which is like creating forests and beautiful stuff, right? Who waters the forest? Nobody waters the forest. Still it gives fruit. Why do we have all these irrigation pumps and all? Lots of energy wastage, electricity. We create forest-like systems, just like nature does. So right now I'm doing that. And also talking to kids like this. All I want you to do, whatever, you play your games. Actually, I make my kids, they play for 4 hours a day. Minimum, that's a rule. Because only then enough amount of blood goes to your brain. Do you know that? And then enough amount of oxygen goes to your brain. That's how you become very, very clever. You also become very clever if you breathe deeply. Because the more oxygen goes into your brain, the more clever you are. Pranayama it was called. It's just a basic understanding of how the body works. Now somebody says, I am reading social, but I can't remember. Come on, man, you're going to grow up. You can't bloody read a textbook from which I'm going to give you answers. That's alright if you're 3rd class, 4th class, 9th class, you can't read. I'll tell you, this book has all the answers at the end of the year. I'm going to ask questions from this, and you still find it difficult? You should not. You should be better than that. You can be better than that. And the way you do it, start breathing very deeply. These are the secrets that made people great. Find them out. They are in your textbooks. Electrons and protons is not new, right? It's there in your textbooks. It's not like I have invented something, I only know, you don't know. It is just, I just want you to pay attention to these simple facts, simple truths. That everything is energy. All of us are energy, and the energy makes itself into all these shapes. Similarly, I want you to think of how energy works in you. Which vegetable? You eat rice more, that day are you able to study better or play better? You know what Sachin Tendulkar eats for lunch during a cricket match? Huh? It's a very difficult game to play, you know that? When you are young, when you are little kids, your bodies are like this, right? What? 40 kgs, 50 kgs? 40, 50 kgs anybody can lift. I am 72 kgs weight. You know how hard it is to run around with 72 kgs? It's double difficult than you. So, if you want to play, I used to play very, very well. I am a very good batsman. I can challenge you to cricket any day. I still play. He is a very good player. We both are pretty awesome. I used to play with V.S. Lakshman, the same team. So, slightly old guy I am, but still I can make you run all around the ground, no doubt about that. If you make me bat. But when you are playing a game, you come back and you say, I like this curry, I like that curry. Afterwards, you can't go and play because you are too full. Sachin Tendulkar eats half kilo of ice cream in lunch because it is full of sugar but not very heavy. If he eats normal rice, he can't run in the afternoon. You know that? You will know that if you look for that. It's not secret, it's there on Google. You know Google, right? Or you are in some Stone Age cave. You guys are not in Stone Age, right? Use Google. See what these people actually do to become that good. See what makes them become that good. How, you know the whole story about maths and mathematics and programming. You know programming, right? How many of you guys know programming? Computers? Not yet, right? In about 4 years, everything is going to be computerized. Your medical data. You have Aadhaar cards. They can be changed, you know that? By anybody. Somebody doesn't like you, they can simply program and hack into the system there and change your name and say that you have done this and that, you have robbed a bank or something and get you in jail. That's called identity theft. Yeah, it's not some movie stuff, it's happening right now. Unless you know programming, you learn the important stuff, you're going to be backward. Have you heard of cryptocurrencies? Have you heard of digital assets? Have you heard of artificial intelligence? You think of energy, how it is getting intelligent when you eat it. You eat a tomato, the next day it is part of your body. How does that work? Learn about it. Think about it. Just sit down, observe everything around you and see how it is all the same energy going from one shape to the other. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for yourself? Will you think about this? Come on, how many people are going to, tell me honestly, I don't mind either way. Of course, my kids are going to think about it and they are going to be better than anybody, any other kid that doesn't think. But you want to think? Who is going to remember this? Who is going to remember this face 2 days from now? Can you remember me 2 days from now? Please raise your hands if you can remember me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a few girls, a few guys, right? The other people are going to forget me? Oh God, I don't know how you are going to pass 9th standard. You can't remember a face for 2 days. You didn't even lift your hands. Oh, good. Just go back. Think of, thank you. How you're going to become better. Think of how great people have done it. Think of how energy works. Swami Vivekananda had one skill. you take any book in the world, any book, you lift the book like that in the air a few times, or you do that, he can read it that fast. I'm not that good, but I will be. You can be. Or you can read forever like Newton's first law, Newton's first law, every object moves or remains in state of rest, every object moves in this or you can do that. And the way he did it, he explained it. He said, dudes, remember it is energy. Your eyes are energy, your brain is energy, that book is energy, and he thought about it. And he did something, and he wrote. I'm not going to tell you what he wrote. You find out. Vivekananda, J.K., Einstein, Schrodinger, one of my favorite guys, Heisenberg, Bill Mollison. There are all these awesome guys who have achieved pretty good stuff in life. Go read upon it, you'll be better. Will you do that much? Will you remember that much? That sometime later after your games, after your 9th class, after your 10th class, sometime when you have time, you're going to read books on all these guys? Yeah, at least you can remember that. Sometime when you feel like it, read books about these great people. Second thing, just give it a thought while walking, going home. Just observe the world around you and see how it is energy. And just observe yourself and how you are energy. Can you do that? Can you do that? Right. That is the truth. Everything is energy, is the secret, is the truth. It's there in your textbooks. Just wanted to remind you of that. Thank you for your time. You can ask any question you want if you have any questions. Or we can all take a leave. It's up to you guys. So any questions?
Yes. Start discussion. Put your questions to sir. Yes, come forward.
Yes, please.
Yes, stand up, stand up.
Brilliant question. How did that wound pass to my father? Right? I have seen several people, because I was in that field. My father was into yoga and other things. Such people used to come to my house. If your father is a police officer, constables and other people will come, right? If you are a judge, lawyers will come. My father was into this. So the way he explained it is that it is the same energy. That's what my father told me. This is the same energy, that is the same energy. How does this book move from this table to that table? There is a method to do it. Of course, I am not still completely told or learned how I did, but I know it happens, and I know you can do it. And I know it has nothing to do with belief. It is what happens in the atomic reactor, that same principle. Find it out. And if you find out, do tell others. Right? One last thing. Don't blindly believe anything unless you actually see it or understand it. Yeah? That's the first thing that is written in this book, which is what is most important. Right? Do not believe until you understand. Yeah? That's important. Next question. Did I answer your question somewhat? Because I only know that much. Otherwise, I would have been, like this, this is the tumor. I can't do that. Right? That's why I'm not showing you. But I have seen people who can do that. And I think you can do that. Yeah. Any other question? Nobody is going to ask how I read a textbook in 1 hour. You guys can read. You guys are fine with your studies? Or even 1 hour is too long? I didn't read the entire year. I just finished. I still finish off most of any exams that I am writing 1 day, half a day. I just finished. My wife is writing BA Philosophy exam, Bachelor of Arts Philosophy, and I read her textbook in about 2 hours, and I taught her in 3 hours, and she just finished her exams. One more exam is there on 20th. That's how we read in my family. My cousins, they are all double MAs, triple MAs by the time they are 18, 16, 18. And I know a lot more guys that do this, and you can do this. And how we do it, that's the way we do it. We really observe how it is all energy and how it is working in our own minds, how our minds work. Why did I remember this? What's the way in which energy is working in me? That's the way we do it. You can do it. So, any other question like that? Or any other question? No? Anything from the boys? No questions? No questions? Any comments? Like, well, I don't believe what you said, gas, something like that? No? No questions? Yeah? See, I'm not your teacher, I don't give you marks. There are your teachers. I'm like, you guys afraid of them? Somewhat like marks and discipline and all. That's why you're not shouting and yelling at me for taking too much of your time? Is that the reason? Huh? What I spoke was fine? Yeah? Yeah, just remember that, because the next time a secret comes to you, you can understand that it's a secret. The basic Rajaguhya, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, and that's what is in Bhagavad Gita, and he says everything is energy. Go read up, not just Indian scriptures. Everything, read up science, read up a lot of books. Find out the secrets, yeah? Since there are no more questions, one more hand, please, yeah.
How did they allow in your school to put the so long leave?
How did they allow me to do what? Sorry.
Take such a long leave.
Oh, that's a good question. I come from a very small town, right? Very small town. My school, the school I studied, did not even have a bathroom. Very small school. Actually it had nothing to do with my school. I told my parents, my mother, that if I can read and tell and write an exam for the next year, she should allow me to take the entire year leave. And she agreed with it. First I did it in 7th class. I finished the whole thing in about 4 hours, all subjects, 4.5 hours. Wrote the exam. I actually started at 8 o'clock reading. Around 2 o'clock I finished all the subjects. The next day morning, whatever question they asked from the textbook I answered. So my mom allowed me to take leave from 7th standard. I only directly went for 7th standard final exams and pre-final exams, because my principal, her name was Rama Devi, she also tested me. Said, okay, I'll ask you questions. And she asked me questions from 7th class textbooks. I answered her. And then I gave her an offer, ask me anything from 8th class textbooks. Because I felt so interested that I finished 8th class textbooks also. So she asked me questions, I answered. And then she asked me, why don't you want to come to school? I said, I want to learn other things. And I did my Sanskrit BA that year, BA equivalent. I right now have 12 skills. I don't go for a job because I don't need to. I can go anywhere, make my money if I need money. I can teach Sanskrit, I can be a cricket coach, I know karate, kung fu a bit, enough to teach, not to fight like 40 people, maybe, but more like teaching that. I can do permaculture, I can do painting, I can do animation. So to learn all of that and bunch of things like that, I told my teachers that I have learned this, give me time off, I want to learn other things, and they were gracious enough to give me that time off. And I again did it in my degree second year, which is when in the middle of college I simply took a leave like that Same story. Told my principal, ask anything, I'll answer, please let me go. And he let me go, and I came to Kelambakam to learn animation in 1999 during my degree. If you do it, if you can do it, I am very confident that your teachers will quickly put you into 10th intermediate degree, right? Your principal sir will give you a special consideration with the educational board and make you write special exams called genius exams. They are there in every state. And your school will be a school of genius people, kids who, like my kids who finished 3rd class and in 1 year, 2 years they wrote the 10th class. You can do that. It's normal kids, just like you. And that, I told you the secret, right? You took 1 hour, you told something boring, up to you. Basically it's observe the bloody energy and you'll be good at it. Yeah. And you don't do it, that it doesn't hurt me. Right? He came, told a bunch of gas and he went, okay, let's go play. Fine, who cares, I am fine. Had good vada in the campus the morning. But you do this, nothing like it. You become clever. You read up. You think. Don't believe until you understand. Just observe the energy in you. Just observe the fact that everything is energy. And you'll be good.
Yes, you start.
Please.
Sir, you say atoms are made up of subatomic particles.
Yes.
Subatomic particles are made up of energy. Then what is energy made up of?
Energy is very good, very good question. Energy is not something that it can be broken apart. It's like white, right? It's like a color. If I say what is white made of, or what is yellow made of, it is what exists, right? Now energy, please sit. Energy that we observe is in 2 ways. One is like substance, the other is like a wave. Yeah? If you break the substance, it becomes a wave. If you condense the wave, it becomes a substance. So that is what it is. There is nothing else, no other name. It's a name for what is there. Right? You can give it any name. There is no smaller pieces in energy. It is not made up of anything else. It is just there. That's the light, that's the sound, that's the objects, that's everything. That's what gets released in your atomic power station. That's the beauty of it. Do you understand that? It is not made, that's why that's a secret. That's why that's a fundamental truth, because it's not made of anything else. If it is made of something else, then that will be the basic truth, right? But so far as science has gone, we are at the place where energy takes up 2 forms. Matter and antimatter, energy and anti-energy. That's where modern science is. That's the cutting edge of science right now. That's where discoveries are happening. Cross, there is a scientist called Cross, K-R-A-U-S-S. You won't read about him in your textbooks, but your children will read about him in their textbooks. Right? You read about Einstein, who was in 1920s, right? And Schrodinger and J.J. Thomson, these are 100-year-old scientists. Science has moved on. I know more about atoms than J.J. Thomson. Right? I have read more about it. Latest discoveries in the textbooks, degree textbooks. Right now the guy, the key figures are Sam, what's his name? But Lawrence Krauss is one guy who will be in textbooks because he is proving that there is no empty space, but empty space is full of energy. Right now that is like sharpest point of science. That's where research is happening. He is proving the density of something called 0 point energy, that is complete empty space. Immediately energy comes out of nothing, becomes electron, anti-electron, goes back, becomes zero. Beautiful, magical stuff. And that's where science is. Lawrence Krauss. I have brought K-R-A-U-S-S. Try to do a Google search on it. Very interesting stuff. Krauss, cross. Lawrence Cross. Very interesting stuff. Magical stuff.
So then can we say the whole universe is made up of energy?
Yes, exactly. The whole universe is made of energy, and energy has this property of traveling, right? Of expanding, right? You put a torchlight here, the light goes all the way. Yeah? That's you shout, sound goes away. You have an explosion, energy goes away. That going away in Sanskrit is called brah. Brihat means large, expanded. Right? Brihatkayosaurus. Do you know that? There is a dinosaur found right here in Tamil Nadu called Brihatkayosaurus. That's the largest dinosaur in the world. You can do the Google search on it. It's the largest dinosaur in the world. It was found in India. Brihatkayosaurus. Now, brah means expanding. Yeah? And movement is ma. Basically, Brahma. Basically, it's an English word for energy. It's called Vru in Australian native tribes. Vru. Their word for it is Vru. WHRU. The concept of sunlight, becoming plants, becoming food, becoming us, becoming forest fire, and becoming fertility. That entire thing they called Vru. The tribes of Australia, the Aboriginal tribes of Australia, Central African Australian desert. You know, a funny thing, they did not have maps and all. They had songs, and they would sing a song like and they walk. By the end of the song, they'll reach a place. They learn 120 songs, right? And in that song, it will say, there is a big red tree, turn right. And they'll turn and they sing a song and they walk, they go to another place. Like that, with songs, they cross the entire Australia, which is like 3-4 times bigger than India, just with songs. You have rhymes like that, I can tell you. We'll talk about that some other day. Yeah? Boys, no questions from you guys. Seems you guys perfectly understood me and you don't have any more doubts. You can really understand everything is energy. Yeah? Done? There's a guy who is like, guys, did I make myself clear? You understood, right? Some of it boring, some of you didn't listen, some of you listened. That's fine. I don't mind that. But fine, right? No issues, right? Excellent. Any other question, girls? Yes, please.
So, science we develops can be like manipulate energy in such a way, like in some films, so there's this drug called CPH4. So the person needs it and they control like 100% of the brain and they can see everything all over, like they can understand everything. So can this be really possible if science develops?
Sure, because right now they are finding an easier way to do it. What happens is that every time energy goes in through your senses into your brain, the brain has its own reaction. If you can measure that reaction, you don't actually need to give a person any medicine. Right now there are gadgets that will tell you that can understand how you're feeling. Whether you're feeling thirsty, whether you're feeling sad, whether you're feeling happy, whether you are seeing color red or yellow, or whether you're thinking of flowers or the ocean. There are systems that actually can do that. It's like a cap. You don't even need to take a medicine. So that's one way it is happening. The other thing is that most humans are predictable. Most of you are very, very predictable. You all speak the same language, you have the same place, same address, same likes. You know, right? Every time. Is there something like Reliance Fresh or some grocery shop here? Big shop? No? You guys know that, right? It's in Chennai. More is there, right? You go to More, you have all these noodles and everything, and chocolates and soaps and all on those rows, right? All the things that were created to attract you will be at your height. Do you know that? For adults, they'll be at their height. For you guys, it will be there. When Ben 10 came and was a big hit, Ben 10 cartoon, yeah, most of the noodles and chocolates were green. They created Ben 10 so that you like the chocolates and pay them money. You are predictable. So most people don't even need a medicine for that. Right now there are algorithms that can do that, simple computer commands that will look at your past history, like your father has a mobile number, address, and shopping bills and bank accounts. We can just, computers can just put that together and tell, oh, in 3 days she's going to buy that noodles. And we don't need a medicine like that. Right now Google can do that for you. They are doing that for you. Google ads. They'll show you ads based on your own preferences. Yeah.
As you said, we all are form of energy. In many films, as she said that many people can think it, they even show telekinesis.
Oh yeah. That is something for you to find out, because there is life as I see it, which you have not seen. Yeah. So as per my life experience, it is quite possible, and oh yeah, easy. But I don't want you to believe what I believe. I'm just telling you my experience so that it's more, okay, that guy said it's possible, maybe. Is it or is it not? I'm going to find out in future. That's the attitude I want you to have. Because the world is full of people who say that those are not possible. Right? History happens in waves. Some days these people who say this is right become like popular, and few more days those guys become popular and keeps on reversing all over the place. I just want you to find out. And as far as my life experience goes, easy. Read books. Yeah, read books about lives and histories of those people. Yeah. Time is up. Huh? No. I'm just waiting for their questions. Shall we conclude it now? Yes, sir. Please.
As you told, you are highly talented from childhood. Have you done any analysis in mathematical science?
Good question, but not. I would not say I'm very good in mathematics. I would not say I'm bad at it.
Like that field of complex analysis, real analysis, numerical.
The thing is that I was more inspired by Vivekananda, so most of my efforts were towards uplifting the human condition, more into humanities, more into children education, more into elderly people, more into culture, planetary sciences.
So what I feel that if you develop in such area, you can help people in that area.
Sure. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How do you develop that much good talent in it?
The way we do it is that when we are little children, when we are little babies, we learn to walk and we learn to speak, and we learn our mother tongue without writing it down, without imposition, without spelling mistakes, without a grammar class. We do it, and we learn to walk, right, without every day doing a dance class or something. The way we do it, or the way we learn to ride a bicycle, is we really observe how we are doing it when we are doing it. when you are a little child, when you see a baby walk, the baby is very focused on how it is walking. Right? It is taking a step, and that's called a feedback loop, a learning feedback loop, a conscious observation of oneself. When you read and you remember, you observe yourself. Okay, what exactly happened? Let me try one more word and see how it feels. Try one more sentence, see how it feels and how exactly you remember. It's very unique to each individual. There's no one method, but you learn how to learn. You learn how to learn. It really takes 3 to 4 months, and after that you don't take a lot of time to read books. I was not born brilliant, no. I was not. I was an average student. I got so angry with schooling, having to study. For you guys it's somewhat easy. In my town, education was so important because most of the people were really financially very, very backward. So if they didn't study, they didn't have good life. So all the schools, my school used to start at 7 a.m. and end at 11 p.m. You guys are in heaven compared to my hometown. 9th, 10th, 7th class. From 7th class, we used to go to school at 7 a.m. Day scholars, not even hostelers. Day scholars, we used to go there at 7. We used to come back at 11 p.m. We had 2 study hours, 6:30 to 9:30 and 10 to 11:30. Of course, my town gets IIT ranks left and right for the last 10-15 years now, but that's a different story. As a child, as a boy who loved cricket, I hated school because it did not give me any time. Out of that frustration, I developed reading fast. I just looked at anybody that can read very fast and I just read their books and it developed it. Thankfully, my family had that background of fast learners. As I told you, my cousins, my father, they taught me. And the trick is to observe yourself. 3 months, 4 months, you can do it. Yeah, I think I have one more class, and maybe if I stop now, I have another bunch of kids to eat. So, thank you for your time. I'll let him finish the class. Thank you all. Have fun. Have a great time. Yeah?
Thank you, sir, for giving such a wonderful life experience, correlating truth and energy existing everywhere. So I ensure that our children will follow your valuable talk in their life.